What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? Yeah. That's for all my Echo fans and the ones that don't like the Echo. That's for them. That's for y'all too. What's up, YouTube? It's early in the morning again. Uncle Mike can't sleep. Oh my gracious, y'all pray for me, man. Check this out, man. Breaking news: Mary J Blige on the run. I don't think she on the run, y'all, but Mary J Blige is on the run after attorneys name her in Diddy's trial. Oh, she going to trial. She was Diddy's P1 IM no about me. Can't get $1 out of me. See, I don't know the words. I P anyway. I don't, man, come on, y'all. Only thing I know is Mary J Blige was very big time in the hip hop. Everybody wanted Mary J Blige to sing on her hooks, you know, rapping and everything. She does great work when shooting videos and stuff. She is an all-around good worker. Now, Diddy done did some wrong things to her. Now, I don't know if it was on the S side or whatever, but Diddy did some wrong things to her, man. And I remember an article about 10 to 14 years ago saying that she owed a lot in back taxes. And that kind of was way before this YouTube thing was blowing up with all this drama and stuff. But I'm pretty sure she got that straightened out by now. But she kind of went and hiding, and then she started doing some acting stuff, man. So shout out to Mary, and I'm so sorry that people like Mary J Blige got caught up in this drama of the business of music, you know. So anyway, hey, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy, yeah.
Mary J Blige is scrambling after reports came out that she was involved in Diddy's freak-off parties and had intimate relations with a 15-year-old boy. Her alleged victim is speaking out about how she would fly him out to please her, and Diddy orchestrated the whole thing.
15 years old.
Mary J Blige has allegedly been found in one of the recently decrypted freak-off tapes that the feds found at Diddy's place. Okay. Almost 2,000 hours worth of footage was found from the computers at Diddy's Miami mansion. And as more and more of this data is decrypted, we're going to see other celebrities get named too. According to insider reports, Mary J Blige was working with Diddy, and in her own words, Mary J Blige said that Diddy was the one who set up her career. The gay Hollywood mafia is controlling everything, and they're the ones pulling the strings.
I met Puff. I was afraid of success, afraid to do anything that could put so much attention on me. And then when I met him, he was the complete opposite. And he was such a good thing for me because I needed what he had. And so his ambition pushed me to be ambitious because I didn't know how, because, you know, when you come from where I come from, you're scared to be ambitious. You're scared to want more. And so when I met Puff, I was, you know, blown away. But it took some years to grow into that and accepting someone that just was so excited about being seen and about having, you know, the lights on them and wanted it for you more than you wanted it for yourself.
Wow.
So, I mean, Puff was a huge inspiration to me.
Alleged victim.
See, this is why I like looking at these things, even though I might think it's clickbait, y'all. But they always have a clip of the original real person talking. And you get so much information out of this long video, right? Think about it. Somebody talk to you for a whole hour and say all this stuff. You don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. But they might say one thing that sticks to you. Like, do on the others as you want them to do on to you. The person, you read that, you heard that, you seen that, but somebody might say to you, and it might hit different, the tone of their voice, it might hit different when they say it to you. You done heard it 50,000 times. Now I get it. If I don't want nobody to stab me, I shouldn't stab nobody else. If I don't want nobody to shoot me, I shouldn't shoot nobody else. If I don't want nobody to talk bad about me, I don't talk bad about other people. So I try my best to keep my mouth shut. I don't care what you say about me, but I ain't gonna say nothing about you. I'm just gonna tell the truth about you. Using your own words.
Danny Boy
lights on him and wanted it for you more than you wanted it for yourself. So, I mean, Puff was a huge inspiration to me.
Alleged victim Danny Boy claims that he met Mary J Blige at one of Diddy's parties with Suge Knight. Here, Suge Knight told Danny that Mary liked him and wanted to spend time with him. Back then, Danny was 15, and he didn't understand why Mary would be interested in him. And it was only after Mary took him to a separate room to spend the night with him did he finally understand the entire thing.
Mary J Blige is allegedly on a freak-off tape with Diddy. It's been going around all over TikTok that Mary J Blige is in a freak-off tape with Diddy, and she's saying that this was her rite of passage. And a lot of people have always wondered about Mary J Blige, and they feel like she is in on some shit because she has never opened her mouth, and she has been with Diddy since the very beginning. And there are a lot of photos on the internet with Mary J Blige with Cassie, and as you can see during these photos, Cassie has visible bruises on her body. Now, all this information with Mary J Blige allegedly
I don't see no bruises. Maybe I'm not looking right. you know, she should have circles around there. Where do I need to look? Maybe it's a bruise. It looked like, but the makeup artist was a beast though. She going on the stand too.
There are a lot of photos on the internet with Mary J Blige with Cassie, and as you can see during these photos, Cassie has visible bruises on her body. Now, all this information with Mary J Blige allegedly being in a freak-off tape with Diddy instantly made me think of Danny Boy. Mary J Blige slept with a 15-year-old Danny Boy when she was 24 years old, and Danny Boy admitted that Mary J Blige would fly him out to New York multiple different times.
But you know, that's why I was kind of confused when I heard Kurt saying that Mary was pot girl. Because at that time, she was my girl. At that time, I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in to see her.
Damn.
And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young and shit, and I'm trying to show her that she ain't phasing me. I'm hard as goddamn. She's backing up against me. This is Mary J Blige.
Cutting diamonds.
And,
Mary J Blige.
I mean, you know, I don't even know if you're supposed to say you had sex with people on.
Following the accusations by Danny Boy, Mary J Blige tried to stay silent about the entire thing. The amount of evidence that Danny Boy has proved that everything he is saying is true. Mary J Blige allegedly fell in love with Danny Boy, and after the accusations, she became depressed. Finally, Diddy had to step in and help her out.
They'll learn that I'm human, and I'm not going to allow people to take my freedom. Only freedom I have is freedom to be me, freedom to do me, freedom to move around the way I want to, say what I want to, and not let you put me in a box.
Hers is a freedom hard fought and earned, born in the Bronx in the
Don't let nobody put you in a box, man. Don't give nobody that power to put you in a box. Be you. Talk people. And I thank all my subscribers and everything. People like the channel, love me, like Uncle Mike, because I speak the truth, man. I mean, you can sit there and put, I'm in my feelings, right? I'm in my feelings. You can sit there and try to put lies out on me, but the truth will prevail, man. It'll prevail. The truth don't have to hide. Lies you got to go find receipts for. or a receipt that's close to lies.
What I want to, and not let you put me in a box.
Don't put me in no box.
Hers is a freedom hard fought and earned. Born in the Bronx in the 1970s and raised by a single mother, Blige says she had a rough childhood. As a young girl, she was sexually abused. She discussed the incident in 2011 on VH1's Behind the Music.
When I was 5 years old, I was molested. And just, you know, I remember feeling literally right before it happened, just could not believe this person was going to do this to me.
Things might be
Wow.
bad for Mary, but they're worse for Diddy in every way possible.
Wow.
Diddy was dropped by his law firm after Lady Gaga threatened to leave the company if it kept representing a rapist. Diddy had been with Grubman, Shire, Meiselas, and Sachs for over 20 years, and after the federal lawsuit was filed against him, they dropped him as a client.
So the high-powered law firm of Grubman, Shire, Meiselas, and Sachs has dropped Combs as a client. Now, this is the firm of Alan Grubman, who is a very prominent entertainment lawyer that represents some very big names. The Weeknd, Madonna, Chris Brown, Paul Simon, Usher, Bruce Springsteen. In fact, by the way, Alan Grubman was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He actually helped found that back in the 1980s. So, gives you an idea about how big of a powerhouse this firm is. Now let's go back to Sean Combs. So the rumor circulating is that this firm did this because singer and actress Lady Gaga had threatened to leave the firm unless they parted ways with Combs. This is according to reporting by News Nation. And it's a big deal because the rapper and producer had apparently been with Grubman's firm for over 20 years. He was friends with Alan Grubman by all accounts.
Lady Gaga. Wow, that's crazy. Lady Gaga threatened to leave. That's crazy. Uh-oh, what happened to the sound? The firm's biggest fear was that Lady Gaga, goodbye. Enjoy, okay.
Diddy's troubles don't end here. The lawyers that Diddy hired after his law firm dropped him have also started to quit. Diddy's lawyer, Anthony Rico, has just filed a motion with Judge Aaron Subramanian.
He's doing fine. It's a difficult circumstance. He's making the best of the situation.
A situation one of Diddy's attorneys won't be part of moving forward.
Yeah.
Anthony Rico announcing in court docs, under no circumstances can he continue defending the embattled rapper.
This is a serious proceeding with serious consequences, and all of us are addressing it accordingly.
In a motion
Man, you ain't say nothing right there. These are serious issues with serious consequences if we are all addressing it accordingly. Fuck that mean, man. But anyway, hey, the lawyer stepped down and I was watching a couple of videos, man, just to let y'all guys know, man, that the dude, I was really, really disappointed in him as a YouTuber. I'm disappointed in a lot of these YouTubers. They want something to turn out their way so bad that they start putting in little lies. And if they say the little lie over and over again, then he says, yeah, he fouled it. We don't know who filed that racist, the lawsuit part on Diddy's part about he's being a racist. This is a racist lawsuit because black men are the only ones getting trapped into this, whatever that lawsuit was, right? Now, we don't know who filed the lawsuit, but he just assumed that the black lawyer filed that lawsuit. And I think 100% the opposite. I think the black lawyer was saying that we shouldn't file this lawsuit. We shouldn't try to play the race card, because the fact of the matter is it's against the law what he did. It's a law stating that you should not do this. So if everybody who did it and got away with it, and then all of a sudden they just cherry pick a black person, it's still against the law. It's wrong for them to pick who they going to prosecute this law on. You're right. It's wrong for them to do that. But bringing it to the law and say, okay, so we're going to let him off because he broke the law. You let him off because he's black, but he still broke the law. It's a law. I don't think the man stepped down because of that. I think that also, how could he have filed and he's not the head lawyer? I'm thinking that, I don't know, I'm just guessing, I'm thinking I'm thinking that you can't just go and file something and you're not even a head lawyer and you just file anything on somebody. You can't do that. I don't think you can do that in these high profile lawsuits, because the big lawyer would have been saying, we taking this out because I am the head lawyer and I didn't even give permission to file this. I didn't even give the permission to file this. That sounds like common sense. And if he filed something he ain't had no business filing on Puffy's behalf, I think he would have been getting fired, not stepping down. They would have been firing him. We didn't even ask for this. He just took it upon themselves. They would have put them all in the media. So that's not what happened. Come on, man. All you got to do is use your brains just a little bit. That man did not file something. That man found something. He understood that they doing some crooked stuff. The lawyers is doing some sneaky stuff, and I can't be a part of this. I'm a straight up lawyer. I got dignity. I can't say what it is, but I can't be a part of this because this is against my morals. Y'all are lying, and I can't lie because when it's time to get to them pearly gates, I want to make sure I go through. So right now, brother, I can't do this. That's what I think happened. Something went down where he said, I cannot do this mess.
A situation one of Diddy's attorneys won't be part of moving forward. Anthony Rico announcing in court docs, under no circumstances can he continue defending the embattled rapper.
Watch
this. Is serious.
They have said that lawyer that's behind him, I think that's him.
Proceeding with serious consequences, and all of us are addressing it accordingly.
In a motion filed on Thursday, Rico stopped short of revealing why he's stepping down from Diddy's legal team, just months ahead of the music mogul's scheduled trial date in May for sex trafficking.
I'm talking about the other lawyer that talked about that baby oil. The other lawyer talking about it's a Costco right down the street, and they said Costco hit back talking about we don't even sell baby oil, thank you. Damn. That dude. It's been plenty of stuff that he had been in that's kind of on a shady side.
And racketeering charges, all of which Diddy's denied.
You know, Dr. King called it the law of unintended consequences. So sometimes the more you push a person down, the stronger they get.
That's Rico speaking up late last year for his now former client. ET's learned the attorney's exit will not affect Diddy's other attorneys, nor their defense strategy.
I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case. Nothing has changed from his perspective.
You're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me.
After Diddy was arrested, Rico said he provided a high level of legal representation. But now, for reasons unknown, he can under no circumstances effectively serve in the upcoming trial.
Nobody's okay with staying in jail for now.
And high-profile death penalty attorney Anthony Rico. Now, while the pair joined around the same time, Anthony in a court filing on Friday said he's leaving the case. In the filing, Anthony Rico said, quote, "For the reasons set forth below, this motion for withdrawals is filed so that Sean Combs may move forward with his defense and to commence jury selection and trial without any delay. As a result of discussion with lead counsel Mark Agnifilo, this motion for withdrawal of counsel is filed. While I am aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted, there are sufficient reasons related to protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case. Although I have provided Sean Combs with the high level of legal representation expected by the court, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs," end quote. Now, essentially in legalese, I quit, but I can't go into details because of attorney-client privilege. According to the filing, though, the defense shakeup won't delay the case. Diddy will continue with 5 attorneys. That's Mark Agnifilo, Tenny Garagos, Alexandra Shapiro, Jason A. Driscoll, and Anna Esteval. Now, a judge still has to sign off on the motion, but with the government taking no position on it and the fact Anthony Rico spoke with Mark Agnifilo about it before filing the motion, a judge will likely sign off on it.
What did Anthony Rico and Grubman, Shire, Miselis, and Sachs see when they decided to leave Diddy? Is the evidence against Diddy really that bad? Here's what some industry insiders had to say about the situation.
An attorney walking away Sometimes it's because they don't get the lead chair or one of the lead chairs. Sometimes it's because a client is lying. Sometimes it's because they believe wholeheartedly that the client is going to be guilty and they don't want to be associated with that guilt because that's a loss on their record. It could be a variety of things, but the fact that we are speculating about that when the trial date hasn't even started yet concerns me, because I'm one of those people, ladies and gentlemen, who firmly believes it's virtually impossible to find a jury that's not contaminated by some kind of information that's been put out to the public before a trial begins. I'm not one of those that believes that. May 5th is May 5th. I mean, come on now. That's more than 2 months away. Jury ain't been selected yet. You trying to tell me nobody that's on the jury will have heard that a lawyer backed out of the case? I don't know about y'all, but I find that that's not a good thing for Sean Diddy Combs.
Is now trying to suppress the evidence that was.
Also, another lawyer in the lawyer talk world has said that there's been plenty of cases, high cases like this, where our attorney was stepped down, and he went through a list of cases, and it's almost O.J. Simpson case. One of the lawyers stepped down, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that, because I didn't follow it that close. You know, back then I was doing my thing. I was doing music, baby. That's all I was thinking about. I ain't care about no O.J. Simpson. I don't know why he did it, but I didn't care about it. But in a lot of cases, man, lawyers stepped down.
That a lawyer backed out of the case? I don't know about y'all.
O.J. Simpson
but I find that that's not a good thing for Sean Diddy Combs.
Is now trying to suppress the evidence that was found at his Miami mansion. Keep in mind, this includes all the baby oil and freak-off tapes that are being decrypted in FBI custody right now. Mary J. Blige was found on these tapes, and Diddy's lawyers know that if this evidence is added to discovery, Diddy is never getting out. He might not survive jail if it's proven that he's a child molester.
Now, to Sean Diddy Combs, looking to suppress evidence in his federal trial, senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is back with the story. Good morning again, Aaron.
And to you, Michael. You'll remember federal agents from Homeland Security investigations were hardly shy when they raided Sean Combs' opulent homes in Los Angeles and Miami, guns drawn. The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches of his iCloud accounts, electronic devices, and New York City hotel room following his arrest were unconstitutional. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed. Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of reality when applying for the search warrants, omitting certain facts and including salacious details from an unnamed producer that were never credible. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges. The defense is also arguing here his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was a willing participant in drug-fueled sex performances called freak-offs, not coerced, as prosecutors allege.
I think that the public and the media have gotten nearly every fact wrong about what the prosecution's case is here. So I just want to take one issue with that. You know, there's no minors, there's no celebrity sex tapes. You know, the civil lawsuits here are not driving the allegations that we're defending against. But it is driving the vitriol against him in the media.
You know, I'm going to highlight something because this one drives me crazy because I read what the prosecution files and I read the indictment. And if you read the indictment, there's no allegation of sex with minors. There's no allegations of A-list celebrities. There are. The new superseding indictment lists 3 so-called victims. I like to call them complaining witnesses. But isn't that right, Tenny?
No, that's absolutely right. There's no minors here. There's no celebrity sex tapes. There are a lot of stories in the media about lawsuits. There's been a flurry of lawsuits in the past 2 days because of an expiring statute, essentially, which is why you've seen a lot of lawsuits in the past few days. But it's incredible here what I'm witnessing, which is that we're, at least I personally, like what people ask me about and come up to me about are a lot of allegations that just have no basis in reality whatsoever.
Diddy's team is also denying the other charges against him. According to federal prosecutors, 2 of Diddy's girlfriends were actually prostitutes that he had hired to live with him, and he was paying them by buying them houses, cars, and in some cases, expensive gifts. Diddy denies all of this and is allegedly saying that the prosecutors are coming after him because he is black.
Sean Diddy Combs is responding to a new indictment against him. In the court docs, prosecutors accuse Combs of knowingly transporting people from 2009 to 2024, quote, with intent that the individuals engage in prostitution, stating that he willfully caused the transportation of female victims, including but not limited to Victim 1, Victim 2, and Victim 3, and commercial sex workers in interstate and foreign commerce on multiple occasions. The indictment also alleges that he, quote, engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women that was verbal, emotional, physical, and at times sexual, with the filing stating that he manipulated women to participate in orchestrated performances of sexual activity with Combs. At times, Combs and others acting at his direction made arrangements for women and commercial sex workers to fly to Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things,
a new motion filed by Diddy's legal team claims that the charges of prostitution filed against him are racially motivated. Diddy has been saying this about every victim that comes after him, too. He says that everyone is just jealous of him being a successful black man. Diddy knows that he can't logically win, so now he's trying to make it about race.
Sean Combs asked the judge in his federal case to throw out one of the charges. He says he's being targeted because he's a black man and the charge is rooted in racism. I look at Combs' argument and his chances of success. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Sean Diddy Combs wants one of the counts in his federal superseding indictment thrown out. Combs argues he's basically being singled out by federal prosecutors because of his race and his success in business.
Diddy's defense seems to be gearing up toward his alleged criminal conduct wasn't criminal. It was his personal business of what was going on in his bedrooms or hotels or wherever the freak-offs occurred. So they're saying that count 3 wasn't transportation to engage in prostitution, but was just him using escorts, male escorts at that, to bring in as a third with his girlfriends. Whereas the government's theory of the case is Diddy used force, fraud, and coercion to make his alleged victims have sex against their will in his freak-offs that he recorded for his own pleasure. Now, Diddy pleaded not guilty to all his charges, hence why the case is going to trial.
Every victim that has come out publicly against Diddy has either been sued by him or somehow mysteriously contacted by people claiming to be associated with Diddy. This is why prosecutors aren't naming the witnesses in the indictment against Diddy. They know that Diddy will reach out to the witnesses because Diddy has been doing this since day one.
The latest on Sean Diddy Combs, prosecutors are accusing Combs of trying to contact prospective witnesses and obstruct the case against him. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, is here with more on that. Good morning to you, Aaron.
Good morning, Robin. Sean Combs is going to be asking a judge this week to release him on bail, but prosecutors now say the argument for detention has only gotten stronger.
This morning, federal prosecutors are accusing Sean Diddy Combs of escalating his attempts to influence the jury pool and subvert his criminal case. Almost immediately after arriving at the federal jail in Brooklyn, prosecutors say Combs started using telephone accounts of at least 8 other inmates to call people not on his approved contact list. Prosecutors allege Combs frequently instructs family members and his attorneys to add other individuals via three-way call, which is not allowed. On some of those calls, prosecutors say Combs is explicit about his intention to use public statements to sway potential jurors, including this Instagram post by Diddy's kids.
Happy birthday to Daddy.
Prosecutors say Combs enlisted family members to plan and execute a social media campaign around the defendant's birthday, the first time we heard his voice from behind bars.
Thank y'all for being strong and thank y'all for being by my side and supporting me. I love y'all. I got the best family in the world.
Prosecutors say Combs then monitored audience engagement from the video.
And you read about Diddy's phone being tapped because the news came out that his former bandmate from Dirty Money, she called the other group member Dunn 58 times trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy.
She ain't the only one he was trying to get in contact with. You understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that enough is enough.
Wow. That's crazy. Wow. And it's funny, man, that phone calls in the jail, the lawyers are saying, oh, that's small. People do that all the time, and that's where we go wrong at. It's a crime. It's a crime. It's a law that's on the books. It's against the law. Big or small, it is still against the law. The laws are set up, and if you break the law, the consequences is, what are the consequences if you break this law? Well, these are the consequences. And you got to follow that. You follow the rules of the game, man. You got to follow the rules of the game of life. So lawyers are saying, well, that's, all inmates do that. Yeah, a lot of them do that, and they don't get caught because they small timers. This is a big fish. So look here, big fish. We expect for you to obey the rules, because if you don't, we're going to find anything to throw against you.
The only one he was trying to get in contact with. You understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me. Telling me enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that enough is enough. You can't tell Wolf Mama enough is enough. You tell D Ferg Mama enough is enough. You understand? You tell all those people who supported you, and they survivors, enough is enough.
You didn't tell me about that. So he tried to get somebody to reach out to you?
No, I got a phone call from Kirk Burroughs. And Kirk Burroughs, and I ain't gonna even get this guy no play. Not Kirk Burroughs, but one of the Puff dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, he want to reach out to you, Gene. He want to speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burroughs did say to me that the dude said enough is enough.
Diddy wants to get all this attention off of him and onto something else. He has now sued NBC News for $100 million, claiming that the documentary made against him is fake and defamatory. This documentary is one of several that is going to come out soon, and 50 Cent is working with Diddy to expose him too. Is Diddy trying to signal 50 Cent to stop with this lawsuit?
Sean Diddy Combs sues NBC for $100 million over its Peacock documentary about him. According to docs obtained by E! News February 12th, the Bad Boy Records founder filed a lawsuit against NBC Universal seeking $100 million after Peacock, the streaming service owned by the media company, released the documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. In the filing, Combs, who is currently in jail on sex trafficking and racketeering charges, accuses NBC Universal of defamation and alleged that the company maliciously and recklessly broadcast the documentary, which included claims that the rapper committed crimes like serial murder and sexual assault of minors without having a shred of evidence. The filing reads, in making and broadcasting these falsehoods, among others, defendants seek only to capitalize on the public's appetite for scandal without any regard for the truth and at the expense of Mr. Combs' right to a fair trial.
The lawyer coming after Diddy, Tony Busby, wanted to represent a new victim coming out publicly against Diddy, but rumors started to come out that he had been disbarred. Diddy knows that rather than fighting 100 victims, he can just get one lawyer disbarred and stop the entire thing. Busby has since quickly cleared the confusion and said that he knew who was putting out these lies.
Tony Busby wants to get involved in this Candace McCrary lawsuit. And more specifically, he is moved to be admitted to be the attorney for McCrary in New York on a pro hoc vice basis. Now, in other words, that is when you ask the court for permission to temporarily represent a client in a jurisdiction in which you're not licensed to practice. Now, in his motion to be admitted, he writes, I'm in good standing of the bars of the state of Texas and New York, as well as the Eastern District of New York. So even though this particular lawsuit was filed in the Southern District of New York, he explains he's in good standing in a neighboring federal court. And in fact, in the filings, there is what appears to be an official certificate of good standing of Tony Buzbee from the Eastern District. There's also apparently a statement of his good standing and license to practice law in Texas. However, as explained in Tony Buzbee's affidavit in support of his motion to appear pro hoc vice and his actual motion,
in a recent episode of the Piers Morgan podcast, Anthony Rico's decision to leave Diddy was discussed, and everyone agreed that for a top attorney to leave just 2 months before his trial means that something is seriously wrong with Diddy, and Anthony wanted to walk away before more evidence came out.
No, we do not convict people in America based on them being bad actors. We convict them based on bad acts. That was Cassie's involvement in that hotel hallway, a bad act? Absolutely. But as Matt says, the statute ran on that.
Okay, let's just pivot.
And the other thing about this, real quick, on this issue that the lawyer says, it's a term of art. It's like in law when you say we've had irreconcilable differences in a divorce. People say, well, that must mean he beat her. That must mean she beat him or was cheating. It doesn't mean it's a term of art. This lawyer has to make specific showings to the federal judge to be allowed off the case. And one of the ways you do that is that we've broken up and we can't get back together. And all he was saying is we've broken up and we can't get back together. In court, we often call it, we're waiting for Mr. Green to arrive or Mr. Cash hasn't arrived. Everyone understands what the term of art means. And in this case, it means I'm not getting along with this dude because I want to be the big dog or the top dog, or I'm not getting paid enough money.
Lawyers are supposed to stand up for their clients when they get into legal trouble or accused of wrongdoing.
Yeah, it really is very strange. I mean, I've seen it happen before. It's not reported on, obviously, because it may be that the high-powered individuals that are embroiled in these kind of conflicts where they say, hey, if you represent A, I'm not going to have you continue to represent me. And it's usually very high net worth individuals that might not be newsworthy like this one. But yeah, it's unusual that the move is that she went to them allegedly and said, hey, listen, if you keep representing Sean Combs, then I'm not going to allow you to represent myself. I think it's an unusual move. Now, sometimes it's because of a personal issue that individual may or may not have had with that individual. But if it's just a kind of a question of her own morality or her version of whatever ethical obligation she has to herself and saying like, hey, if you represent me on contracts, then I can't let you represent this other individual that's accused of all these heinous crimes on contracts.
But what do you think? Is Mary J Blige really involved? Or is this just another desperate attempt to shift the blame? And with all the evidence piling up, do you think Diddy has any chance of getting out of this mess? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this wild case. Stay tuned, because this is far from over.
She may not be involved, but she knows something. That's for damn sure. She knows something. Now what she know, I don't know. I know one thing, she's seen a lot and she closed her eyes to a lot of things, especially somebody dating a 15-year-old, and she was what? Isn't that's rape? I mean, that's R, but it ain't R. I mean, isn't that some child something? Even if it's man and he was 15, he's underage. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments, man. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. Only thing I know is I'm gonna get on up out of here. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.